Hey everyone, today we're going to look at some basic self-defense techniques from the ground position. Here's an example of a worst case scenario. The attacker is aggressively trying to get on top of them and beat them up. There are many different scenarios where self-defense is applicable, and it's commonly understood that the ground is quite a dangerous place to be for obvious reasons. Our first focus is to use our legs. Your legs are long and strong, and if an attacker is twice your size, it's still unlikely that their upper body matches the strength of your legs. You see in the picture here, Marie is using the bottom of her foot and the length of her leg to keep me at a distance where I can't land any significant strikes, thus keeping her safe. A useful tool when discussing self-defense based scenarios is to refer to green and red zones. A green zone is where you are at a minimal threat, and a red zone is where the threat is really high. A red zone would be if the person has gotten past your legs and hands and they're on top of you and they're landing strikes. And a green zone is where you've successfully minimized the threat through any means necessary, being far away from strikes or using your legs to prevent the strikes. The two main goals so far have really been to keep yourself safe and to try and stand back up. You can see in this video Marie using her power in order to do both of those things. If the person manages to get past the length of your legs, this can be a more dangerous situation. The main thing then is to keep your knees between you and them. If the attacker manages to get completely on top of you, the strength of your legs becomes less relevant, placing you very much in a red zone. If a person gets past your feet and your knees are between you and them, they can still land strikes to the head, as you can see in this video. Our focus now is to keep the knees between ourselves and the attacker, and then deal with the threat, which is the punches. What Marie's doing here is pulling me in close so that I'm unable to continue to throw punches, thus creating another green zone. A very basic restraint would be to wrap your arms around the person and pull them in, keeping your knees between you and them to try and keep you safe. This would be so that you can essentially shout for help or try and calm the person down. I should also point out that if the person has completely gotten past your legs and is on top of you, you can still attempt to do this and you can still pull them in, thus keeping the threat to a minimum. There are ways of getting out of the situation where a person's got completely on top of you, but these are not always effective and a little bit more advanced, best for another video. When you've had a bit of experience doing this practice, you can then implement some more advanced techniques. What Marie's doing here is wrapping her legs round me and keeping control of the attacker with the strength of the legs. And she's reached around the back of my head and put me in what's called a guillotine headlock. This is a position where she could definitely have control for a considerable period of time. And once again, this frees her up to either shout for help or to convince me to relax and calm down. If you can, it's best to practice this with a partner. But if this isn't possible for you, you can still educate yourself through research and open-minded discussion. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.